What is good, guys? What is good? So I was scrolling through X, happened to see Darius Slay talking about basically how he basically wanted to play in Philly, but being in the Buffalo Bills, they like wouldn't let him go. So let's not even waste any time. Let's dive straight into the clip, then we'll talk about it.
Always wanted to go back to that. Like, what was that conversation like with Buffalo? And did you know at that time like you was gonna come to this decision in March?
Now that I'm done, I can really like speak on a lot of stuff. So,
Dude, Slay's so funny.
yeah, I don't know what Buffalo was thinking. I told them way before. Hey, look, I ain't coming to Buffalo. I just ain't. I love you. I appreciate that you believe in me, but I'm not coming. It's too cold.
Yo, hey. He's an older player. It makes sense. Like, I could see him just being like, nah. Like, you guys get snow. I'm not trying to go there. Of course, Philly, they're not far away from each other, but Buffalo's right next to the lakes, right? And I can understand him be like, no, I've seen that snow. Like, I ain't going there. I know Philly. I'll deal with Philly weather, not Buffalo weather.
Yes, I believe in Josh Allen. Yes, I think he can do it. Yes, I believe he can get us to the Super Bowl. I got one already. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be somewhere comfortable where I want to be at. What's crazy is I supposed to have been on a flight to the rent to LA and watch the Eagles play, the Chargers. And I was gonna fly back with the team
That's
Monday.
crazy.
They called me Sunday when I was getting ready to book my flight to go down to LA to fly back with them boys because I go be on the sideline and all that to get the, you know what I'm saying? That's what they wanted me to come for. So I'm like, bet. And I go be on, be with the Eagles then.
You want to come back?
Man, the boys called me Sunday and was like, nah, we ain't doing that. We'll release you after we play them. And I'm like, all right, bet. So during that time, that was like 5 weeks. Man, I started running, started being in shape. I'm still in shape, but I was like, yeah, fuck that shit, Slay, I'm done. Because I ain't feel like going out there playing one game, and that was the last game of the year, which I knew the starters were going to play for the Eagles. So I'm like, I ain't going to be doing that. And then,
dude, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's crazy, but it's not, right? Because, like, do you remember when Darius Slay got released? Like, I remember on Eagles Twitter. I remember all over Eagles Twitter, right? Like, we were all saying, we're like, oh, Pittsburgh Steelers released him. Like, he's probably going to come back to Philly. We were fully expecting him to come back to Philly, even if Slay wasn't going to be a starter, right? It was like Slay's going to come back, be with the Eagles. And sure enough, the Buffalo Bills end up claiming him. They keep him. You just heard him say it. And, dude, he was not playing for them. There was a reason that he didn't play. He's like, I'm not playing for Buffalo. The only team that I'm going to play for is the Philadelphia Eagles. And Bean just would not let him go, bro, which I find is crazy. I find it crazy. Like, we all knew, not even Eagles fans, we all knew on X. We were all talking about it. Everybody thought the same thing. Slay was probably going to go back to Philly, right? They could have him for cheap, keep him on the squad, have him as depth play. Like, everybody loves Slay in Philly. And Bean just couldn't do that. He's like, nah, not giving you back to Philly. I don't want to give you back to Philly. They end up keeping him, and Slay's like, not playing. Then, he's announces retirement, which is going to be retiring with the Eagles. And, bro, we've been hearing things about Brandon Bean. Like, that's what I find interesting. We've been hearing things about Brandon Bean. Kind of like talking about how, oh, I didn't want to draft this player and that was the coach and this and that. That wasn't my decision. Then you hear the owner backing him up. And, I've been seeing Buffalo fans being a little bit upset with Bean, saying that they're not getting Josh Allen enough help, which I agree to. I agree to like a degree. I'm like, there's weapons on Buffalo, but the wide receivers, I completely understand it could be better. But, just you hear things with Bean, and I really feel like some of these GMs, man, I feel like they get away with some shit, right? Like we hear people talk about coaches. We hear people talk about coaches and just kind of, bad coach, good coach, the freaking offensive coaching staff, the defensive coaching staff. We hear about that stuff all the time, right? We hear about that stuff all the time. But we don't hear people talk about GMs a certain type of way. Like, yes, we do hear it. But lots of times, man, we hear about more of the coaches. And some of these GMs, bro, I feel like they be moving some type of way. I feel like they be moving some type of way behind the scenes. Like, they think they're slick. But it's like, damn, bro, you a little bit slimy. You're a little, like, I don't know about you. And as the GM, lots of these GMs are backed by the owner, right? So it's just really easy to just cast the coach out, have full support over the GM. And I mean, we just witnessed it with another GM that was kind of like, what are you doing, bro? Like the Baltimore Ravens GM. You hear Max Crosby talk about flying out there. He had to get his own flight, go out there and shit. They're like hardly talking to him. Then we all know how it went down. They ended up dropping the trade. Everything just goes to hell, right? They're like, oh, no, we're not trading for him. Then you hear like stuff on their end, why they're not doing it. You hear Max Crosby talk about it. Like I said, his full trip going there and just everything. And it's like, bro, like, it just seems like Baltimore straight up got cold feet, which is crazy, right? Because all the other teams that were in the trade pool, like, they kind of just like dipped out. We all know how that scenario goes, but like, I'm just looking at it and I'm like, bro, these GMs, bro, like they think they're slick and they be moving some type of way. And Brandon Bean to like hold Darius Slay like this and just like not let him go, which I understand. Like, he didn't want him to go to the Eagles. They knew they were going to be playing the Eagles, but I'm like, come on, man. Like, Philly has their starting core. You guys wouldn't let him go. He made it pretty clear that he was not going to play with you, and you guys still held him, just literally would not let him go. I understand that this is the NFL and it's not the NBA. Players don't have as much leverage, but players still do have some leverage. And I feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like if Bean were like, the right thing that he should have done is like let Slay go. Like, do you guys agree or disagree with that? I understand it's a business. They're like, we claimed him. We have the rights to him, right? Like, but I'm like, shouldn't they have just like let him go when they knew that he was not going to play? That's the way I feel about it, bro. Just some of these GMs, they move some type of way, and I don't feel like they get enough criticism. Now, I feel like in the past 15 years, GMs have gotten like much more criticism. But man, like I said earlier, those GMs, they form those bonds with the owner, and some way, somehow, some of these guys just survive. And I see Bean do this, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? But I don't know. You guys let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe to your boy. All we do is talk football. Yeah, let me know what you think about this scenario, and let me know if you feel the same type of way about GMs, bro. If they're kind of just like, can't trust those dudes. Can't trust them. But yeah, anyways, appreciate you guys watching. It's your boy Shady Luke, and I'm outie. Deuces.